It's day 24, 30 Days of Black History on my page, and today we're going to talk about the Draft Riots of 1863 in New York City. Now, in September of 1862, President Abraham Lincoln announced the Emancipation Proclamation. It was supposed to take effect January 1st, 1863. However, at that same time, around March of 1863, a new federal law was enacted that required that all white men of middle class were to enlist in the draft between the ages of 25 to 35 who were unmarried and 35 to 45 who were unmarried. Now, this pissed them off. It pissed them off because the elite was exempt from the draft, and so were black men. Black men were exempt because at this time they were not U.S. citizens. Now, the government did give them an out and told them if you can afford $300 to not be enlisted, you can pay $300 to be exempt. And then the media did what the media does. They started inciting anger in the middle class white men. And they essentially said, you're only worth $300 to not have to go to the war, but they're paying $1,000 for Negroes? Well, it worked because white men started worrying about their economic status, and they felt like black people were gaining too much power. And they felt like that while they were at the war, black men were going to take their jobs. So they started a riot. Initially, they targeted military and government buildings as a symbol to say that the draft was unfair. But then they just started branching out and burning up buildings. They even burned up buildings owned by white folks, especially if the white people were supporting black people and were anti-slavery. Now, at this time, Republicans were pro-abolitionists. Like, they were literally the ones who were leading anti-slavery politics. And it was the Democrats that consisted mostly of Irishmen who were pro-slavery in New York and who was really pissed. The Irishmen did not want to work with black men who had been hired as longshoremen on the docks. So they attacked 250 black men along the ports and then started walking around with the goal of eliminating any black social life up and down the port. They beat the mayor to death. They ended up burning up an orphanage for black children. Thank God the children got out. But they went in there and they stole all the blankets, all the food, all the school supplies, and then burned the orphanage to the ground. They lynched about 12 men, killed about 100 other people, including white women. They drug a man through the town by his genitals, all because they didn't want to go to the draft. Now, they would not touch the black elite. I mean, they tried. They tried to go into those neighborhoods. But the white people in those neighborhoods joined hands with the black elite, and they poured hot starch on them every chance they got. The rioting lasted for 5 whole damn days. In solidarity, the New York League marched 1,000 black men through the Hudson River as they shipped off to the war.